Well, the race came down to provisional votes. Each day, Zach Blanchard watched city election workers count each and every ballot in the 11th district race. And now, with all the votes counted and the big check mark next to his name, Blanchard is getting ready to take on the challenges of his constituents' needs. Joining us now is new city councilman Zach Blanchard. Good to see you, man.
Jason, thanks so much for having me on.
You added some excitement to the election.
And to my own life.
Right.
Yeah.
So, dude, walk me through this, and we'll get to some issues. But I am curious about the election itself. I mean, you're going up against an incumbent, a well-known name,
Yep.
And then you come out ending up at the elections office, watching votes being counted.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things you had to get through to get to this point.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell me about that. For you, what's it like?
Yeah, so do you want me to talk about the campaign or kind of the post?
Walk me through it. Because first of all, with the campaign itself,
Yeah.
I mean, you had to have a strategy to go against someone who's already in office and established.
Sure. Yeah. So, I got involved in politics. I was really involved in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I was really involved in my neighborhood because I knew that I wanted my neighborhood to be the type of place that me and my wife could know and rely on the folks around us. We had a real sense of place, community. One day, our kids might want to raise their kids there, and really, really into that. And so in the process of just really being involved in the neighborhood, ran into the political establishment on several occasions. And in particular, my opponent in this past campaign,
Sure.
Councilman Costello, and was like, hey, I think we really need some change. Was looking for someone to back. No one was running. No one else ran in 2020. So
Yeah.
it was kind of a,
Why not?
someone's got to, it wasn't an easy choice, but ended up making that decision.
What resonated with people? What did they want to see within the
Yeah.
district? So they felt the same way you did, raise a
Yeah.
family and have a house there.
Yeah, so it depends a lot on the neighborhood,
Okay.
and the 11th district is, every councilperson says their district is very diverse, but the 11th district includes all of downtown.
Yeah.
So from MLK to President, it includes most of the peninsula. So Federal Hill down to Locust Point. It includes most of Upton. It includes most of Mount Vernon, Bolton Hill. So I mean, it's
You got a little bit of everything.
Right, and so when you're talking to different neighborhoods, right, the things you're going to focus on are going to be kind of neighborhood specific,
Yeah.
right? And so, let's say knocking in Federal Hill at Locust Point. So I coach football at Digital Harbor High School. It's the
Yeah.
second largest high school in the city, and I would point out, hey, we've got several excellent primary public schools on the peninsula. That are thriving, and they're thriving for kids from families who can afford to send their kids to private school, and for kids who can't. Both Federal Hill Prep and Francis Scott Key have their 50% of their students are economically disadvantaged.
Sure.
And so obviously the city does not have a long history of that, and I think that's incredible. Digital is not in that same situation, and so I was like, hey, we need to fight to make digital, help digital thrive for kids who are coming from economically disadvantaged background, and kids who are coming from more affluent families, a lot of whom live in the neighborhood, and that's going to get neighborhood buy-in. That's going to, just the whole thing is going to line up. So that was big on the peninsula. If you look at, say, up in Upton, I would knock on doors and say, I'm Zach Blanchard, I'm running for city council. Did you know there's 307 abandoned properties in Upton? And folks would say, yeah, that sounds about right. Or like, something to that effect.
Sure.
And then I'd say, I'm the candidate who's going to fight to solve the vacancy crisis. I'm the candidate who's going to invest in our youth through vocational training and apprenticeship programs. And I coach football at Digital Harbor. So I'm not just saying it because it's election season. I'm the candidate who's going to help make Pennsylvania Avenue something more like what it once was.
What works for vacants, do you think? Is it a level it and then make a green space and then figure out later? Or is it finding people to buy in? Or is it going after some of these owners who kind of skip town on us?
All of the above, depending on the situation.
Yeah.
I will say in a neighborhood like Upton, which has over 300 abandoned properties, but it is a historically, architecturally incredible neighborhood.
Yeah.
So it really would be a massive loss to just,
To level it all.
all
Yeah.
of them, right? In some situations where the whole block is abandoned,
Yeah.
That's important, and some of that's been done already. But, so I'm a big proponent and have been, even since before I was campaigning, on the verge of a vacancy tax, because almost half of the 14,000 abandoned properties in the city pay less than $250 a year in property taxes,
Wow.
which for anyone who is a homeowner in the city knows that is very low.
Yeah.
And so, raising the tax on those properties so that those owners have the incentive to rehab and reoccupy the property, or to sell it to someone who's able to do so, and allows the private interest to line up with the public interest,
Sure.
is something I'm really big on.
Tell
Yeah.
me about the designs downtown at Harbor Place. Do you feel that residential should be there? Do you feel like a mix should be there? What do you make of the design?
So, and in my day job, I'm actually the vice president of economic development for the Midtown Benefits
Right,
District.
yes.
So, I do economic development. I also work with developers and city agencies and, work public parks, public space. And I live 5 blocks from, Harbor Place.
Yeah.
So, and I'm raising a family there.
Yeah.
And so, I have some skepticism about the $330 million in federal funding. How do we make sure that that's actually not coming from the Baltimore city government when we have such compelling issues? And I've spoken with MCB's folks on this on several occasions, and I think they can line it up, but we just need to be sure of that. But from the perspective of someone who lives right by there and does public space stuff in my day job, I think for the most part it's an excellent plan.
Sure.
I think that having so many lanes of traffic dominating the harbor it not just isolates the harbor from downtown, which is a huge loss for downtown, but also loses the amount of public space. So when we get rid of the Light Street Spur and we're able to connect McKeldin Plaza to the harbor, that's going to pull the harbor much closer to downtown. I will say that I'm generally a big proponent of, hey, let's get more residents into the city. That's obviously, we've been losing residents for 7 decades now. I will say that exact location is like the one space in the city where I would be like, I don't know if we actually need residents there, but that is the economic engine that's going to provide for the private investment to get all the other things. Sure. And so if your 2 trade-offs are having the 2 very sleek, but tall, but very slim residential towers, or to be dominated by, the largest traffic flow through downtown, I'm picking towers.
Sure. Got 30 seconds left. Tell me how you know your term is a success. If you made your way through City Hall, what will ring to you as I did what I came here to accomplish?
Yeah, in 4 years, so we've got over 500 abandoned properties in the district. If we've gotten that down to, near half of what it is now, and if families, who have the option to send their kids elsewhere are starting to send their kids to Digital Harbor High School, those are 2 really excellent signs of success.
Excellent. Great to meet you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Well,
Jason.
thank you.